Are we going? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sora.
And I'm Saffron.
Welcome to Strangers in Fiction.
That made my lips hurt. Freezing my face like that. That was peculiar because the weather's cold. And it's I've got sore lips.
Mm.
They hurt a lot. So
Do you use anything to keep them from getting chapped?
I do. I use a
Okay.
combination of various things.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I just go
There's.
outside with the dog a lot, so it's
Mm,
getting blasted in the face by the coldness, and then coming
yeah.
in, and then the air's really dry in the house. So, because I used to when when I was a chef, especially in the winter, I used to get like lizard levels of shedding, like reptilian shedding on my mouth. It was awful because I was like going from extreme temperature to extreme temperature constantly. Um, and there'd be a point where I'd be like, I'm going to wear a mask because my lips are falling off. So I lived through that. I
Yeah.
can do this now, so it's fine.
Yeah. There's very few things that I can think of that are worse than chapped lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Famine probably is one of them. That probably sucks a lot.
Yeah. Probably
Grand
leads to
scheme of
chapped
things,
lips.
chap lips are like, they're up there, but they're not like the worst. But in the daily
Yeah.
life
Okay.
of a privileged person, that's probably one of the worst
First
things.
world problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paper cuts in between your fingers, those sorts of things.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, how are
Running out of
you?
room in the fridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you? What have you been
I'm
doing?
good. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Okay, they're done. Bye.
Okay.
Um,
No, tell me what's going on with you. How are things? What have you been doing?
the day before yesterday. Wait.
Hmm.
Yes, the day before yesterday. I did it. I
Read something or wrote something?
I okay, so I I figured it out. I solved the actual last problem with interdimensional bachelorette. I fucking did it.
Ha!
I wasn't sure for a minute, so like
Huh.
I double checked, I triple checked, and then like as I was getting ready for bed and laying down, I was like, I felt it. I felt the click, and my
Mhm.
brain was like, okay, task complete. What are we doing next? I did
I'm
it.
so
I
fucking proud of
solved.
you.
Me too. I'm so relieved. I'm so excited.
A
I'm
weight's been
so
lifted.
yes. Yes, the year of troubleshooting hell is finally over. In fact, I yesterday frantically typed up 10 pages of summary outline, sort of like snowflake methody, sort of like here's how it goes.
Mm.
10 pages of what I have not yet written.
Hmm.
Some of it I have written stuff of, but like mostly it's just like here's how it goes.
Cool.
And I know it's going somewhere. That was the
Cool.
problem. I didn't know where it was going, and it
Mhm.
wasn't going anywhere because like I did the dumbest thing possible. Made I chose to make. Whoa, Jeffrey, you okay? Yeah, he's
He's
fine.
just having a great time
Um,
back there.
yeah, he's got all of his toys and like two different like bones. He's got a collagen chew and a yak cheese chew. He's happy now for some reason. He was
Oh, look
cranky a
at
minute ago,
him.
but he's fine now. Yeah. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't remember.
Sorry.
No. It's Jeffrey just making noise on the carpet. I didn't know where it was going. Now I know where it's going. No, I don't know where it's going, but I know it's going somewhere. That
Mhm.
was the thing, is that it wasn't generating plot.
Yeah.
The subplot that I added.
Mhm.
And now it's generating plot. Or like it has the potential to. It's not going to stall out and just be like, well, equilibrium is reached, there's no conflict, there's no tension, no one cares. Right. The thing that I was getting to was that I did the dumbest thing
Mm.
and I made my protagonist omnipotent.
Oh, yeah.
That's a recipe for plot holes. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Be smart. Give your protagonist limitations. Build them into the system. Don't like have to finagle it so that it works. It's not worth it, I promise. So, yeah, I've done the last of the finagling, and I'm pretty sure that it's good now. Like
That's,
I shouldn't have any more rewrites this major until ever.
that's really cool. And you
It
did it
is really cool.
before the end of the year, so you can start off the new year
Did it before the end of
without
the
that
year.
issue.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just really looking forward to getting all of the things that I'm really behind on done,
Hmm.
and then actually getting back to drafting
Hmm.
and just like disappearing into the world that I have created again, because like I have missed that feeling
Hmm.
for a year and I'm getting it back. Like it's trickling in, and like it was effortless to get there. And that's exactly the feeling that I've been waiting for is this feeling that I have right now, which is yes, the story is there. All I have to do is step into it.
That's lovely.
It
I'm
is. It's so
thrilled.
wonderful. Thank
This
you.
this
I'm
feels like you don't have to have a tentative feeling of is it going to be okay. It sounds like you're very certain,
I
even if
am.
Jeffrey isn't. You are. So that
Jeffrey's okay. You're okay, sweetie.
oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. So
it is.
how did you have that light bulb moment where you were like, oh, that's the problem, and this is how I can fix it, or did you identify that problem before? Like, what was the process for you?
Um, what is the process? the The process has been long and arduous, and basically the same all day, every day for the last year, 14 months,
Mhm.
October of last year to December of this year,
Mhm.
roughly.
Mhm.
Things fell apart in October of last year,
Yeah.
and I've been rebuilding them slowly.
Mhm.
Um, the process is think and think some more. Like it, I can't really describe it any more accurately than that, because each problem has been on its own sort of paradoxical. Um, because I, some people would probably say that my setting is over constrained and everything is over determined. They are wrong, but there's a huge long laundry list of constraints that I'm operating under,
Mhm.
and they don't cooperate very well. So anytime there is a problem with the story, the solution space is very, very small.
Yeah.
And it usually requires me to have some kind of epiphany. Just
Mhm.
be like, okay, we're not going to think about it in terms of this problem. We're going to think about it in terms of what's possible. Because realistically, the options are typically infinite.
Mhm.
Um, but they also tend to reduce to zero when you take all of the constraints into account.
Mhm.
So
Your poor
the what?
your poor brain.
Yeah, it's really tired. It needs a vacation. um, the the solution this time was actually very simple.
Mhm.
All I had to do was give myself permission to do something that's kind of gross. Not like pick my nose or anything. Just
Oh.
like I I have a tendency to overcorrect away from power fantasy sort of things. I don't
Okay.
like to give my protagonist wins at
Oh,
all.
okay.
But certainly not easy wins.
Mhm.
But I was like, okay, okay. Do I have permission, please, to do this easy win if it will create more problems than it solves for my protagonist? And then I was like, yes, yes, I actually do. Sweet, that solves everything. Cool, cool. Let's do it.
Sounds like you're just a troublemaker. That's what I'm hearing from that. Just creating trouble.
Yes, yes. Um, I have had to develop my sense of authorial sadism
Mhm.
in developing my craft over the past several years because, like, I have an overwhelming tendency to want the protagonist to win. You know, it's just like I don't want the people that I like to suffer.
Mhm.
But I don't know, something just maybe it's just because I'm this is a self insert and I'm the protagonist, so it's okay for me to suffer. That's so fucking telling. Don't even.
Don't unravel today. Today's not an unraveling
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. Um, Maybe it's just that I'm the protagonist and I'm allowed to make myself suffer
Mm.
and not feel bad about it. And that's like what has helped me to think, okay, how can I make this worse? How can I make this absolutely awful? Yeah. So I wrote up 10 pages of outline summary for this web of subplots yesterday, and that's how I spent most of my day. And then I couldn't fucking sleep. So I've had like 5 hours of sleep, maybe. How are you? How's it
I've had more
going?
sleep than you, but I've
That's
been less
always a good idea.
less productive though. So you know, maybe
Yeah,
even, maybe even.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm fine. I am fucking busy, but I'm the maker of my own misery. So I mean, it's not even misery because I think that's stuff I actually like, but it's busy. I've been doing a lot of stuff towards this book that I've printed. I don't have physical copies with me to show, but I'll show next time. And I can't remember what I said last time, but I was banging my head against the wall trying to figure out if I could ship internationally, and I
Mm-hmm.
just simply can't make that work, which is a shame. And I was flip flopping between because Amazon have such a fantastic global shipping network. I was like, why don't I just tap into the shipping network? And then I thought, well, that's completely defeating the point of doing this thing. And it's not to take on this massive fucking monolith that is Amazon at all, because they've got it covered. Nobody needs me coming in changing the game because quite frankly they have it covered. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
the system is broken beyond repair, or people will continue to make what is available work for them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't produce books as cheaply as Amazon can, so that needs to remain a thing because I'm one person, and I do have the
Mm-hmm.
help of one or two other people. But quite frankly, it's still not. I'm never going to be able to get the same prices as robots because they're huge. They have these huge factories that have automated machines that can produce a book within like a minute or something. It's not well, it's a little bit quicker than that, but for me, my production takes like maybe a week because of all the stages of production. So it's been an interesting mental gymnastic routine for me to go through to be like, I want to provide this thing, I want to provide it at a more affordable rate, I want to provide it more widely, but I can't because somebody else has cornered the market to a point where everything else is very expensive or perceived to be expensive. Whereas like 10, 15 years ago, $6 in shipping actually might have been all right. It's
Mm-hmm.
understandable. Wait 2 weeks for whatever it is to arrive. And now, in this age of instantaneous gratification, I can't compete with that yet. And nor do I know if I want to. It's something that I am really struggling to not rectify.
Reconcile?
Yeah, reconcile in my mind what actually am I trying to do, and it's providing an alternative to this thing and hopefully giving people an experience that they're not going to get anywhere else. So everything that I do, I try really, really hard to make it really personal. I try to
Mm-hmm.
talk to people. I'm like, hey, let's have a call before we do something, work together or something or whatever. And I just find that more engaging. And I don't want to become one of these like people that's fishing to help you market your book or shit like that, because I'm not experienced enough. Nor do I think that's an attractive proposal. What I want to do is go, hey, let me help you get your book into the world. The only thing I'll charge you for is printing the book, and you get a free teammate with it. I'm not asking people to pay me for marketing. It works best for me if you sell lots of books. So, in my mind, it makes sense for me to also be doing the advertising. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you buy 20 books and sell 20 books, you're going to want to buy 20 more, or maybe even 50 more because they've become popular, because the marketing we're doing together is working, or whatever that thing is. So,
Mm-hmm.
all this time that I've spent building this thing, I now can use it to help people. And I don't know what this is going to look like in a year. I'm really interested to see it because I didn't think I'd be at this point last year.
Yeah.
Um, I keep getting these wild hairs up my ass, and then I do something new, and then I'm like, okay, that doesn't work. Let's fuck that off. And I keep wanting to try new things, and that's why everything feels all jumbled and like it hasn't got a proper identity at the moment, because I'm trying everything and
Mm-hmm.
see what sticks, because I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket and then be at the point where I was like, well, that was a waste of a year and a bunch of money. So yeah, I've
Yeah.
got an additional thing that's going on in the background that I cannot talk about, which potentially might be huge, related to the book world, but nothing to do with what I'm doing. So yeah, the
You
next
can't tell
stage,
me about it? Like,
I can't.
behind... Oh, wow. Okay,
No,
it's top secret.
super secret. Yeah, super secret. Um, so it's nothing dangerous. It's just I have to be cagey about it at the moment. As soon as I can, I'll tell you, but I can't at the moment. So the the next stage in this whole thing, other than making it more easily accessible to help people to get their books out there, is creating and developing relationships with bookstores. I'm not looking at Barnes and Noble. I'm not looking at Amazon, because you can get your books on there yourself. I don't have to do shit for that. You can do that yourself. I was thinking about asking for exclusivity, but then again, that defeats the purpose. If I want people to sell more books, what's the point of restricting the avenues that people can sell them?
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that people need in order to take advantage of what I'm doing is the rights to be able to publish their work themselves. So if you're with a publisher and you're like, I also want to print my books with Saff, I need to go through your publisher, not through you. So little things like that. So by creating these relationships with stores, I'm in the process of collating a big list of indie bookstores and then doing my base research to see, okay, how do I get books into this store? If it's obvious, then I'm making a note of like, okay, so they need samples or whatever it is that they need. And then in the new year, once I have the website revamped and back out into the world, I can then go and commit myself to this huge campaign that I'm going to do by contacting every single indie bookstore that I can possibly get in contact with. And other people probably have done that as well. But I'm hoping that over time, as I bring on more clients and print their books, I'll be able to say to the bookstore, hey, bookstore, I've got this new one in, and it's a horror story. This is a bit about it. Here's a sell sheet. Like, this is a summary. Would you like a copy to have a look at or whatever? Some of them do it through consignment. There's lots of different avenues. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I can get more books on shelves, because you can buy them online anyway. It's not special. That's not special. When indie authors can get their books on shelves in stores that people can go and touch, that's exciting. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm putting a lot of energy into, as opposed to like the e-commerce side of things, because it's really hard to get people to look at stuff online without taking into account very, very short attention spans. But when you're wandering around a bookstore, a lot less swiftness is needed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm very much I had a call with the Northie yesterday, and he said something about what I'm doing going really well, and I said I have no idea why. And he said, "Have you heard of the phenomenon called writing avoidance?" I don't need you to call me out like that. Okay, that might be true. Yes, nothing has happened with my writing, so let's not talk about that. But I have been busy. It's not like I've been like picking my ass. I've been doing that as well, but like unrelated. Joking. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Who knows?
I am like there's a word that's really really loud in my head right now. Artisanal.
Mm-hmm.
You want to give people, and you are giving people, a very artisanal experience. Like you can buy a book through Amazon, and it'll be whatever quality shows up, and no one will care.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. But the what you're doing is, it's very careful, it's very curated, it's very just extremely human. Like, you're getting back to the roots of printing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's very cool.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to see where it goes and how it goes and exactly how successful it's going to be, because it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And I feel really privileged to be watching the whole thing sort of take off from the very beginning. So,
It's thank you. That means a lot.
yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
something where there are different kinds of printing, right? So the printing that I can do at the moment is digital printing. So that is through this huge machine, um, instead of like laying the ink on the press and doing it the traditional way, which would be so much more expensive. Just like to point out, what I would love to do in the future. This is I'm looking like a year, 2 years down the line, is to do offset sprayed edge hardcover special edition books with the traditional style printing, with like gold edges and shit like that. That's where I
Oh,
want to get to. That'd be
nice.
cool as shit. Because those are worth paying the money for.
Mm-hmm.
But paperbacks and things like that, I think, do them as efficiently as possible because people tear through a paperback. Whereas like the collectors, they love a hard copy or they love like a special thing. Um, I'd love to do limited edition print runs of stuff. And what we can do as well, this is what I'm also looking into as early as I possibly can, is merchandising and doing things like printed maps on like really lovely paper. Like you can buy the paper that they print money on, and it's made of cotton. And we could do that. We could do cotton maps. Like
I want one.
there's there's all sorts of really cool shit that is available to me specifically because of the family that I'm married into, and I don't want to be the only one with the access to that. So,
Mm.
and it's not like I'm giving them away. Like I give away hundreds of hours of my time a year, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of my time a year. So this thing, I'm very much like I need to return some of that money to myself, but in a way where everybody wins because they get a really cool fucking thing. And the other thing is, like with this book that I've started printing now, I've been sending progress pictures. So they're seeing their book getting cut. They're showing, they're seeing their book getting printed. It's so exciting. Like it's really
That
cool.
is really
And it
exciting.
makes them excited, and they're like, "Oh my god, I get this special experience that you don't get that with anything else." Nobody's going to send you
Huh.
like aesthetically pleasing pictures of the big cutter blade chopping the edge of the book off. That's cool as shit.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That is very
So
cool.
it's been taking a lot of my time up.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to rework the website. I'm not a web designer, which is why it's been so difficult. So I'm just using WordPress and their system that they have there. And I still haven't worked out how I want it to look yet. I'm still playing with that because I want it to be the last fucking time I do this before I can afford to pay someone to do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's stressing me out a little bit. So I'm not giving it time because I thought it's not doing that to myself. That's been me since we last spoke.
That sounds really exciting. It's just it's so cool. It's so cool what you're doing. I'm so excited. I'm so other words that mean excited.
And also, this is something that I want to do. So I want to make sure I interview all of the authors that I work with, and I've included these cards. Okay, so we've got the logo on the back.
Oh,
Wait,
cool.
and it says, I'll read it to you. Thank you for
Okay.
purchasing an indie book and supporting a small business. I hope you enjoy immersing yourself into this world that Matt Falcon has created. Want to learn more about this author? Check out his interview on Booked. And we'll give you a QR code.
Oh, that's so professional and just
Look
like
at that.
yes.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's so nice.
Um,
That's so
it's sick as
nice. I
fuck. It
love
looks
that.
cool. I love it.
Uh,
But why not do more stuff like that?
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
great.
so EP. I'm tired. It's a good tired though. At least it's not like tired
Yeah.
because I'm sad or whatever. Just got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Not sad, tired like last time.
Sad tired is crap.
Yeah, it really is. So, have you read anything good lately?
Yes, I have. I've been thinking about all of the books that I've enjoyed this year, and I released a list of all the indie books I've read. That I've no, that's a lie. It's not all the indie books that I've read. It's all the best indie books that I've read over the past
Okay.
year and a bit because I included the sort of back end of 2024. And there were some that I missed on the list, but I thought it was too late now. I can't add them on as like a thing because somebody commented and was like, did that, the suspicious eyes, like the
Hmm.
thing, whose book I forgot to put on the list, and I just liked that comment because I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be like I forgot you, because like I don't want it to look like I'm pandering to people, but there were so many that I forgot some because there were a ton of them. And I have two books that I anticipate being good next year. One of them is a Molim Carb book, which is the second edition. No, sorry, the second book in the Tangled Elegies series, which includes her debut, Dark Bloom, and Medusa, and by Carl Farnworth. I think it's Medusa or Men Entombed in Winter. It's one that I keep going on about that I just fucking loved. I keep thinking about it. I loved it. It was amazing. And I've read some really good trap books this year. I'm not going to pretend like I only read indie because that would be a lie.
Hmm.
So I'd love to tell you about some of them if
Yeah.
you're interested. This
Yeah,
isn't
I'd love to hear about
this
them.
isn't the extent of them because a lot of them I read on an e-reader.
Uh-huh.
We all know the name of the e-reader, but they don't need any press from me. So one of the authors that I've really, really been enjoying this year is Eliza Clark. Now
Okay.
she writes, I call it like dirty fiction, and by that I mean it's like not polished to me. It doesn't read as like this polished literary masterpiece. They are
Hmm.
like grungy stories that she writes. So this particular one is called She's Always Hungry, and it's a collection of short stories. And if you know me, you know I love a short story collection. I'm not getting paid to do this. I
Hmm.
just love this author. She also wrote Boy Parts, which I've talked about on the show before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I've recently finished reading Penance, which is also by Eliza Clark. I don't have the hard copy, but I'm going to buy it because I really liked it. And that was interesting because it was like a commentary on true crime podcasts and true crime shows and true crime fanatics and how
Hmm.
everything can go so wrong and all the information that you're presented with when investigating a murder or whatever is incredibly biased and sensationalist, and it follows like this journalist who got caught up in some phone hacking scandal, and then they did this true crime um, account of these teenage girls that killed another teenage girl, and the whole time you're going like, okay, this is weird as fuck because there are loads of different POVs. Like some of them, it's a letter from one of the killers. Some of the chapters, it's them talking to somebody. Some of the chapters, it's them talking about themselves. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And then something happens, and you're like, okay, it was weird. But I really enjoyed it because it was weird, and I like a weird book. But Eliza Clark, she's fantastic. I love her style. It's very gritty and don't know. It sounds like I'm being really rude, but quite sloppy. But like not grammatically, or I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it's a
Mm.
friend from England telling me about a story about something. I don't feel like it's a writer trying to spin me a tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's uh it sounds like her voice is very distinctive,
Mm-hmm.
and her style of prose is very pulpy, or what people now call voicey, which
Mm-hmm.
is
They call it what?
just voicey.
Oh, voicey. Okay.
I don't know, just every style of prose is voicey in that it has a voice, in my opinion. So like that's it doesn't mean anything, that word, but yeah. What the fuck was I saying? I need more sleep. Voicey, right? Pulpy, and like
Mm-hmm.
the vibe is, a person telling a story. The words are a vehicle for conveying information that tells you what happened,
Yes.
rather than the prose itself is the art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. It's my favorite style of storytelling.
Hmm. Yeah, I prefer it also because it just, like, I do love a well constructed sentence. I
Mm-hmm.
do love sexy word choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I said sexy, because like to me it is very like um activating, sort of in that kind of way, but um that might not be the best choice of words.
I'm gonna cut out this explanation and just get past it. I just have you say sexy word choice and then skip to the next bit.
That's fine. That's fine. Um yeah, I do love a sexy sentence where it's just like, yes, give me more of that.
When that flow is just right.
Yes,
Mm.
yes, but like that should not take away from or distract from the narrative itself. Like, I do want to know what's going on
Yeah.
more than I want to know how many words the author knows.
Mm. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And, I do find that there are certain genres that stick to that, what I would describe as very flowery prose, where everything's lovely and la da 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 da. Like, that's how that is read to me. And when I
Yeah.
read a sentence, the syllables are like beats to me. I'm a drummer, so I think of everything in a pattern or in a rhythm. And when the rhythm is off, I can't read it and enjoy it. Like there has to be some sort of rhythm. So I'm not saying that Eliza Clark is incapable of having a rhythmic sentence, but I don't know, her word choice and presentation of information I think is great, and it feels like I've not heard her speak before. She writes as she speaks, and that
Mm,
is appealing to me. So yeah,
yeah.
that's one of them. I'm conscious that I'm going to say a bunch of stuff at you. So should we do a back and forth? Would you like to share a book that you've enjoyed this year?
Um, I haven't actually read much trad published things this year. I don't know that I've read any trad books with my eyeballs. I'm trying to think. I don't think that I have. I've been doing a lot of rereading
Mhm.
of traditionally published books,
Okay.
and I did start and finish the War of the Spider Queen. War of the Spider Queen series, by a series of different
Mhm.
authors. Each book has a different author that it's actually.
Are you on carpet?
Yes. Each book has a different author that it's actually by. It's
That's
just
cool.
R.A. Salvatore's War of the Spider Queen, because Salvatore owns Drow.
Mhm.
No one else is allowed to touch them.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I read it on audiobook. And Rosalind Landor is delightful. She mispronounces everything, which is very irritating, but delightful
What
as an audiobook person.
for the uneducated among us? What is it about? What is the vibe? What is this?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We could totally talk about the vibe. The vibe is awful. Like literally, there are no good guys in the series. There
Oh,
are, yeah, yeah. There are protagonists and there are antagonists,
hmm,
and you can literally root for everybody
hmm,
because everyone in the series is evil except for like one minor side character, I think. I'm trying to think if there's any other not evil people in this story. I don't think so. I think everyone is evil.
what genre are we playing with here?
This is definitely dark fantasy. There's eyeball stuff.
Okay, you're appealing to me. Appealing to me. What else? What else would I like about it? I'm
um,
interested.
there, so there's a lot of violence.
My
It,
favorite.
right, um, and basically everybody dies.
Oh, fun.
There, yeah, there are like two or three people from the main cast who actually survive the events of War of the Spider Queen.
Okay.
And they are some of my least favorites. um, but yeah, everybody dies. And it's very bleak. The moral of the story is evil wins and nothing really changes.
Fantastic.
Like I finished the whole series on audiobook and I was like, fuck this story. It's so unsatisfying. Oh, it's so unsatisfying. But like in a really sort of morbidly, like, yeah, you can tell that's not fake kind of
Mm,
way. Like the fact that there are very few humans. Oh, there are a couple of other not evil characters and they all die.
okay, good.
Everybody who's not evil also dies. um the what the fuck was I saying? Right, there are very few humans in this series. All of the
Mhm,
main characters are um, drow or the the underdark version of dwarves,
mhm,
um, and like evil dwarves, and there's like a couple of people who are part demon,
mhm,
and the the world building is really rich. I mean, obviously, because Faerun, Forgotten Realms, that has been a setting that has been developed by many, many people over the course of decades.
mhm.
So it's not as though there isn't a lot of material there already.
Mhm.
But it's. You can tell that each book is written by a different author, but the differences are so subtle that you can also tell that they must have collaborated because each character's voice is distinct
Mhm.
and consistent over the course of the whole series. And
Fascinating.
yeah,
That's really cool stuff. I like
yeah,
that. That sounds
yeah,
engaging.
it is. It is very much so. And like the the thing about everybody being evil is that most everybody is still likable.
Mm.
Like you have sympathetic characters who survive most of the way through.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely sounds like something I would give a go.
Yeah, I, I, I think I can probably softly recommend it
Mm-hmm.
to you personally.
Does it have romance in it? I don't know what
It has
romance
sex
is
in
about.
it, not explicit, but it does not have
Okay.
romance. There's the evil characters don't really do love, so there aren't any romantic relationships in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We should do a thing in the new year. This is coming out already in the new year, so this is us talking in
Uh-huh.
2025. In the
Happy New Year.
where you and I recommend a book to one another that we're not even certain that that person is going to like, to see what they think of the book you like.
Yeah, that was like part of the reason why I wanted to talk about trad books,
Okay.
because like we just to get an idea. What, sorry?
Well, then it doesn't matter if we don't like him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if we don't like them. We can just absolutely trash trad books.
Yeah.
And just, people can come at us in the comments if they want to. Nobody will. But the part of the idea was for us to talk about different books
Mhm.
so that we could get an idea of what we each like.
Yeah.
Because I have a pretty good idea of what I believe that you will probably like,
Mhm.
but you still seem to be struggling to understand like what I like in
I
books.
think it's because a lot of the books that you talk about I have never heard of. So I find it very
Yeah.
hard to then understand what they are. Even if you tell
Mm-hmm.
me explicitly what they're like, I still don't quite understand it. Because like
Yeah.
in the back of my head, I think she just likes fantasy. I know that's not true though. I know that you like other things, but I still don't get what those are. So I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to be able to more confidently recommend things to you. I feel like you'd probably do pretty well at recommending things to me, but I'm really good at listening but not remembering things. And even if I write them down, they're so out of context. I think, what the fuck does that mean? Um, so yeah, I
Yeah.
like the idea. I think let's try and do
Yeah.
that for the next recording. Is come to the next recording with a recommendation
Okay.
of like a trad book that we either do. Should we do that we think that the other person might like, or one that we like, so that you can see what it's like? How do you want to do this?
Well, we're kind of doing the one that we like right now.
Okay.
So let's do a recommendation on purpose next time.
Okay, I like that. Let's do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to have a real think about that.
I've got one. I've got one, and I really like this one. It's actually like um an inside joke. There is an inside joke based on it between me and my husband, my friend who I married.
Uh-huh.
We would listen to audiobooks in the truck
Mhm.
when he was an over the road trucker and I was like doing that with him. I
Mhm.
wouldn't drive, but like, I wanted to be with him while he was traveling.
That's cool.
So yeah, we lived in a truck for a while. And we would listen to audiobooks a lot. So
That's really
that's
cool.
how it really is. It really is. But this one became a sort of in joke between the two of us. And I think that you would like it. And I've wanted to ask you about it before because I'm like, what if she's read that one? That would be so cool if she's read that one. So,
I
yeah.
really want to know what it is.
I'll tell you next time.
Oh, fuck.
Because, like, I have to look up the title because I don't know the title.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that. I really need to have a think about what I think you'd like, because I don't know if I've read enough of the things I think you'd like. Especially because I don't particularly care for a satisfying ending, so I want to be mindful of that for you. I'll have a think about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
like that. That should
Me
be the
too.
thing that we do. Talk
Yeah.
about indie
That.
books. Also, recommend trad books to each other just to
Yeah.
have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that very much.
Same. And I again, I can soft recommend at least the first book of the series. I think you could probably be satisfied just putting it down after the first
Mhm.
book.
Yes.
But then you will have met Faran Misrim of Menzo Baranzan, and he is very near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
He's absolutely ridiculous, and I love him very much.
Okay. Awesome. Noted.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool, man.
Oh shit, we've been talking for 45 minutes.
I know. I just saw that too. I was like, what the fuck?
Hell? Okay, I'm going to speed through these ones. I've got
Okay,
three
all
more.
right.
Three
Go.
more. First one. Speedy.
Uh-huh.
This is The Satsuma Complex by Bob Mortimer.
Uh-huh.
It was lended to me by my
Cool.
dad. And so this Bob Mortimer is one of the funniest men on this fucking planet, living
Okay.
or dead. Okay. He is my favorite comedian. And he wrote a book. And in fact, he's written like 3 or 4 books now. But this book is basically about a dude named Gary who gets caught up in some conspiracy thing by accident. And
Dope.
he talks to, there's a squirrel that he keeps seeing, and he talks to the squirrel, and he does the voice of the squirrel back to himself, and they just have like a
Perfect.
normal-ish conversation. And it's really like, I don't know, it's not particularly exciting, complex, but it's just silly humor, and it's like it's so my sense of humor. And I will literally lap up anything that Bob Mortimer writes because it's so intensely funny to me, and anything he does just makes me laugh. So I don't read many comedy books, but I will be reading the next one. I think it's called The Avocado Hotel, or The Hotel Avocado. Or something.
Avocado hotel.
Yeah, something like that. And I think it's like a
Okay.
run on from this. I think the whole thing is that there's a fruit involved in some way.
Okay.
Um, but I love the cover. It's got a shiny
It's
squirrel
pretty
on it.
cute.
That's his friend,
Yeah.
the squirrel.
Uh-huh.
And I really like the artwork. And I think his son drew the cover or designed the cover.
Nice.
But I love him, and he's fantastic. I grew up watching his stand up and sketch shows and stuff, and it just has a special place in my heart. And I think I'll definitely cry when he dies. I love you, Bob Mortimer. If you ever see this, I don't think you will, but I do love you. No, your turn.
Full disclosure, my phone is ringing right now, and
Oh, I can't hear it. Do you need to get it?
no. Okay, there we go. Can you say something to make sure I can hear you?
I am saying something.
Okay, thank you.
Are you okay?
Cause like, yeah, no, I was just waiting for the phone to stop ringing in my ear and like pretending like I
Oh,
could hear what you were saying.
it was coming. Was it coming through your headphones?
It was coming through my headphones because
Oh,
I'm
okay. That's
I'm
what confused me.
connected via Bluetooth to my laptop and to my cell phone. And for some reason, I was just waiting for the phone to stop ringing, and then Spotify started playing.
Fantastic.
So I was like, wait, no, stop. Yeah.
Okay, that was that
Okay.
basically.
Cool.
Uh,
Cool. You had like a whole stack of them. Were there more
yes, there's two
books that you wanted to talk about?
more.
Okay. Cool.
This one is by V.C. Andrews. The only book by this author that I've read is called Flowers in the Attic. I think it's a series. It was fucking weird, but I couldn't stop reading it. It was really, really. It was a weird concept for a book, and it's about these kids that are like they have to stay in the attic. It's like three. I think it's 3 children. Let me just double check if it says that. Da, 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 da. No, it's 4 kids. There's twins and another boy and girl that are a bit older than twins. Twins are little, and it's just so fucking strange. Like this woman is like, you've got to stay in the attic because my parents aren't to know about you because her parents were wealthy, and I think she didn't like the dad died or something. I can't really remember. I read it really early this year. And my brain is scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
But the things that stood out to me as being weird are that they were left in this attic for like months and months and months and months and months and months and months. I think maybe even years. They didn't see the sunlight.
Was somebody feeding them?
Like little dregs of stuff here and there. And the grandmother that lived in the house would go up there and like make sure they got bathed and whatever. But it was all lots of abuse in it, not sexual abuse, but it was like
Yeah.
horrible, really
Neglect.
horrible, neglectful stuff.
Yeah.
And then the mum, she spoiler alert, it's a fucking old book, so skip past this. But the mum then meets a rich guy and the kids sneak down to watch all the rich people having a ball and things like that, and it's just like really strange. And then there's a bit of incest, which was weird and I didn't like that. And then they escape somehow, but I think one of the kids dies. It's just weird. It was weird. I didn't like dislike it, but I tore through it really quickly. um I don't want to know any more about the characters. I think I got a bit sick of them. I felt like I was trapped in that attic with the characters. And I kept thinking, why have all the kids bitten the grandma? Like, I don't get why murder wasn't an option. There were four of them at one point. They could have definitely tackled an old lady to the ground. I'm not being funny. So, yeah, I think it's set like back in ye olde days before phones and stuff. I don't remember what year it was set in. But I mean, this author has written a ton of books. That's a list of the books that they've written.
That's
They're doing all right. 1979, this came out.
That's not before phones.
No, but like it's like as in
Set before phones.
yeah,
Okay.
like before cell phones, as in like
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't easy for me to
Oh,
communicate
okay.
with the outside world, and it's not a modern. To me, it's not a modern story. It's just,
Yeah.
like 50 years old or whatever. I can't do math. But yeah, it's. I'm trying to think if there are any other like famous because I've heard of this book for a long time, and I was like, let's give that a go. And I don't recognize any of the other stories. By all accounts, they're a good writer. It was just strange. It put me off reading anything else because I think it was the incest that got me. Because I was like, that wasn't a part that I feel needed to be in there. Because there were children, and I was like, ooh, there was only one incidence of it, and it kind of felt contextual, but I also was like, could have done without that. I really feel a bit sick, so that was gross. But the whole like, how can somebody abuse their children like that? I thought was interesting. Um, and that brings me on to my last book that I have here. I also read. Hang on, where is it? Tender as the Flesh. Didn't care for that. It was alright, but I thought it was a bit overhyped. I can't pronounce this person's surname or their first name, but this is Baby Teeth. I've spoken about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I love this author. It's another author whose work I've been working through, and I really have really thoroughly enjoyed them. It's so strange. This is another strange book. This is a strange book I really, 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 really liked. And I picked it up because I was like, there's a lollipop on the cover and it says Baby Teeth. I need to read that. I didn't even read the back. I just went, that looks weird. I'm gonna read that. And I think I've said this before, but I'm saying it again. Each chapter flits between sometimes it's like one than the other, and sometimes it's the same person, but it's the perspective of the mum and the perspective of the child. And the child basically is on this warpath trying to kill her mum, and the kid's like 5 or 6 years old. She's tiny, and it shows like this psychopathic child trying to justify the fact that their mum needs to be fucking dead, and this is how I'm going to do it. And she does this research, and then she has an imaginary friend that's like the last woman to be burned alive as a witch. And it's just so good. It is so good. I don't know if it's ever been made into a show or a film, but I would watch it if it had been. I haven't looked it up. But man, I've been reading the sequel lately. That's what I've been reading most frequently, and the little girl's all grown up, and she's now navigating a different thing, where she talks about her other self as being like she's been through a rehabilitative program, and she has to keep reminding herself that she's not the other self anymore, and she's like battling this murderous child instinct, but she's plotting a murder at the moment. It's just so funny. It's really good. Yeah,
That sounds adequately disturbing.
yeah. I am more.
Yeah.
I met Ian Sullivan the other day. He had
Oh, yeah, you told me you were gonna do that.
yeah,
How did that go?
lovely. He's so nice. And I met his wife and his daughter, and they were lovely as well. It was a really good time, actually. It was in a very cool, very, very cool, very inclusive coffee shop that had lots of very supportive things everywhere that made me feel very nice. Uh, in the middle of Texas, so I just like it's more abnormal to see people being like super inclusive. That when I see it, it stands out to me as being a very nice thing. That I'm like, yeah, here you go, little ripples. Anyway, but it was amazing coffee, but really, really nice meeting. And my husband came with me, and got him to sign a couple of his books. I have them here. Hang on. I actually have them now. It's very exciting. I'm not turning around
Nice.
for the camera. You don't need to see what the back of my hair looks like. Mad Tapestry, which we've seen, and Super Powerless. All just stunning
Nice.
books. But it was really nice to be able to be like, I will take these two books from you in real life, which was cool. And yeah, we talked about all sorts of stuff. But he's just a really good dude. I thought it was a very nice, exciting time. And if there are any authors that have local events, I'm going to try and go to them because it was just a really nice thing to do. It's nice to just connect with people. It's something that I need to get back into doing because I do all this virtual stuff, but really, I don't really connect with authors and various other people I'm trying to work with in anything other than video chats, which is challenging. So I also got sent this
Oh, nice.
Table Scraps by Anthony LaFauci. I haven't
Uh-huh.
read it yet, but it's a very cool cover. I think he drew the.
It is a very cool
I
cover.
think he drew this. He also this
Nice.
author is the cover artist for Super Powerless. Just in case you're interested in accosting this gentleman for cover art. But yeah, so things and stuff.
Accosting politely.
Oh yeah, I mean asking for him to provide goods and services in exchange for money.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That was me talking about stuff. Have you got any
Cool.
recommendations?
Um. Yeah, but we'll talk about that next time.
Okay. Here
Okay.
comes. Looks like I'm hitchhiking down that way.
Yeah. I will. Yeah, I'll have to look up the. I remember the author, but I'll have to look up the title of this one book that I'm thinking of, and I will almost be disappointed if you have read it at this point. But I've got my recommendation.
It's so unlikely that I've read it. It's unlikely.
It is pretty unlikely.
There are
Yeah.
so many books out there. If it's like a bestsellery sort of book, I probably haven't read it. If it's a really obscure book, I probably haven't read it either. So
So you like the mid tier stuff? It's like this exists.
kind of,
Yeah.
kind of, because I give it my own
Yeah.
hype. I don't need other people to hype stuff up for me. Let me decide if I
Yeah.
like it.
I I intentionally avoid stuff that people are hyping.
Mhm.
I will either get into something right before it gets popular and then get really annoyed that other people are like, "Oh my god, have you heard about this cool thing?" I was like, "Yeah, I heard about it 5 years ago. Thanks for catching up." Um, or I will just be endlessly irritated with people talking about something that is obviously garbage.
Mhm.
Um, and it's very, very annoying. Like to me, the popularity of something, like if it is insanely popular, if it has been sensationalized, that's a red flag. It's a red flag because popular opinion is
Shit.
not good.
Shit. Shit. Let's have individualism and each like our own things, and if people don't like them and they're not harming anybody, then it doesn't matter. You don't have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I will say, I went into Barnes and Noble the other day to look for a Christmas gift. It was, don't worry, I bought indie books for the people that needed indie books. I was looking for a specific non-indie thing. Okay. Um, uh, and I glanced across the fantasy side of things, and they
Uh-huh.
all looked like they were from the same author. It was weird.
Uh-huh.
They all look the
Yeah.
same. There aren't enough
Mm-hmm.
dragons, and by that I mean there aren't enough very graphic depictions of dragons. I've had enough dragon silhouettes to last me a fucking lifetime. I can't even speak. I'm that annoyed about it. Let's see the scales on the dragon's face. I want to see proper dragons. Okay, on covers now. We need to start this again.
I'm good without dragons, honestly. I could I could do with never seeing another dragon in my entire life.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
They're not going to listen to us anyway.
No, they're not.
No,
And I'll probably eventually write something with dragons in it.
they
So
are cool as shit. You can't pretend they're not good. Like it's
they
Mystic
are
Stone.
cool as shit, and like they're kind of just a staple. People are not going to believe that you are actually writing fantasy unless there's a dragon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if there are also like everything else, you can have unicorns and phoenixes and like elves and fucking magic and shit. If there aren't any dragons, people are going to be mad.
Yes.
I don't understand, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. That's all I've got.
That's all I've got. Run out. Run
Okay.
out of stuff in the
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I need some tea and probably a muffin.
Ooh, what kind of muffin?
Chocolate chip.
Oh, nice.
I'm that kind of basic. Yeah.
Okay, I like a blueberry. That's pretty
Yeah, no, I also have blueberry muffin mix, but I went ahead and I made the chocolate chip ones first.
nice.
Yeah. Because you can't have blueberry muffins and chocolate chip muffins all at the same time and expect to be able to finish them by yourself
Yes.
in a timely manner.
Do you ever warm them
Yeah.
up in the microwave?
No, but I don't know why not. So I'm going to do that.
Top tip: do not do it for very long because it will be awful.
Mm.
Like 10.
Yeah. No, it gets rubbery. Yeah. Yeah. I have made that mistake before.
You could also, if you have a big enough mug, like this,
Mm.
put the muffin in the mug. Wait. Microwave 10, 15 seconds. If you have cream, cream in the thing, in the mug. I used to do that with tiny pies. I used to have these pies that would be the same size as a cup. And you could fit 3 of those cans in there. Can. And then microwave them. And then I did get up to £300 during the pandemic. So the pandemic, not plural. And this is probably one of the reasons why. And I used to just fill it with cream, like pouring cream. I just sit there and eat the whole thing, and then go, I don't know why I feel so sick. I used to call it cup of pie, and but you could do cup of muffin, and it's not a mug cake. That's different. Cup of muffin is muffin that already exists into the thing, fill with cream
Yes.
after you put it in the microwave. A mug cake is where you make it in the mug.
Yes. Do
Cup
you
of
do
muffin,
mug cakes?
no.
No. Okay.
If I'm going to get all those ingredients out and measure them individually, why am I doing one? That is so fucking stupid to me. And I don't. No offense to anyone that does that, because sometimes it's more cost effective, and if you don't want to waste and all that sort of stuff. If I'm fucking about with washing up, I'm doing the exact same amount of items, but 12 muffins instead. I'm not. I'm not doing one muffin. Ah, piss off. Because I'm going to eat one while they're cooling down, and then I'm going to sit down to have one. That's two muffins already. Because I'm the kind of person that will make a sandwich while I'm waiting for my toast. So no, I don't do mug cakes.
I will like every once in a while, but I will only use recipes that are not an absolute bitch. Like if I have to beat an egg and then separate it into like thirds or whatever, no, fuck that.
Mhm.
But I'll measure out a tablespoon of things instead of several cups of things, and I will have my one mug cake. But that's only if like I have to have something sweet and I have to have it in like 10 fucking minutes. It's an emergency.
I get
And
that.
I don't have and I don't have anything else. That's it. That's when I'll do a mug cake. It's an
I'm glad we cleared
emergency.
that up.
What?
I'm glad we cleared that up because I was worried.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I think I've done it all of like 3 or 4 times in my entire adult life. So,
Yeah.
and mug cakes didn't exist when I was a child. So,
what?
Mug cakes didn't exist when I was a child. Like people hadn't figured that out yet. So, my adult life was the only time that could have been done. They weren't
I do like
yet.
the microwave cake. I'm not pretending like they're not nice because they're fluffy and delicious and soft. But again, if it requires washing up, better make me a full baker's dozen. My dog is furiously licking her bumhole, so it's a cue for me to let her outside.
Probably.
You need to stop. She needs to. Paisley, please stop. You lick me with that mouth. I'm not. No. I'm a fan of that.
Thanks for joining us today, Book Goblins. And all of the English language just went poof out of my head. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell people about what we're doing here and all of the awesome shit that Saffron is doing with the printing of things and the internet stuff.
Internet
stuff.
Fantastic.
And stay tuned for more unhinged talk about the unreal on the regular.
I'm going to fade in the music now.
Sweet.